Good morning, students. Here today we are going to discuss about the manipulations on XML data. What is mean by XML? You are all familiar with XML, Extensible Markup Language. It is just like a HTML language. Rather than it can use a user-defined tag. Okay, but HTML use only a standard tags. Here XML is used to create style sheet. You already created cascaded style sheet files. Yeah, that cascaded style sheet files can be created with the help of the XML file. In this session, we are going to discuss the various manipulations on XML data. Okay. Next, first topic manipulating XML data, which is come under the namespace system.xml. System is the root class and XML is the subdirectory. What is the technology? It is a XML is a technology which helps to transmit data, also model the data. Model the data means various manipulations performed on the data. It is a platform independent. Why it is called as platform independent? It may work in any operating system. And it parses. Parses means compilers. And XML parsers exist for many platforms and operating system. Many of our .NET architecture is based on XML because the .NET has many large support for manipulating XML data. So, for that reason, .NET is based on XML. It helps to perform various manipulations on XML data. Already I discussed about XML parsers also exist in various platforms and operating systems. So here we are going to know the different types of XML parsers. There are two different types of XML parsers. What are they? They are tree-based parsers and stream-based parsers. Here we are going to discuss about how to create the tree-based parsers in XML document. Okay, the tree-based XML parsers read an entire XML document into memory to construct a tree data structure. It is an important one word. Dash parser will read an entire document into memory. Otherwise, dash parsers will construct a tree-based data structure representation of the XML data. That is tree-based XML parser. Okay, first of all, it read the whole XML document and load it into the memory. After loading the document in the memory, it will construct a tree data structure. Okay, it is a good way to manipulate small amount of XML data. It is not work on huge amount of XML data. It is only relatively with small amount of XML data, and the operations performed on the small amount of XML data are executed quickly. We can build a new XML document with the document object model. How to build a new XML document with the DOM just by creating a new XML document object with the help of the create XML document function. Got it? How to create a new XML document? With the help of the create XML document function. This create XML document is the root of the document. Here only we can perform many operations such as creating XML document and other manipulations. Okay. First we have to obtain a XML element from the root of the XML document with the help of the document element property. Once again, how to create an XML document object with the help of create XML document function. How to obtain an XML element from the XML document with the help of document element property. Next, assemble all elements of the node for addition to the XML document. Got it? Addition to the XML document means adding many more documents to the root document. Okay. Next, loading and searching tree-based XML document. I already explained you, that is the tree-based parser read the whole XML document and load it into the memory. After that only it will create the tree data structure for manipulating. Okay, just like here, how to load and how the searches are take place in the tree-based XML document. Starting with an existing XML, we can start it from an existing document. If there is no such document, we must create a new XML document. The loading and searching operations are take place only in the existing XML document. Then reading, searching and updating its operation, and after that we will save it back to the file. Okay. Next, we move on to how to read data. How to read data. There are two ways in reading data. That is, one is with the validation and another one is without validation. That is, we don't check anything, just we read the XML data, that is reading XML data without validation. It is accomplished with the help of two different methods which is reside in the XML document object, that is load and load XML method. Okay. Load XML method loads the XML data into an XML document object from a string, but it does not perform any validation of the data against the document type definition or schema. Type definition means just like our data type, there is some type definition in XML. You are already know about schema. You may studied it from RDBMS. Schema is the overall structure of the database. That is, the load XML method will perform reading against the document type definition. Okay. Next, the load method reads the XML data from a file. There is no validation at all. If the user wish to validate the data against a DTD, use the load method along with the XML document object. Okay. Next, reading XML data with validation. Just as simple, the operations are performed in the reading XML data without validation is same as with validation. Rather than it will validate the XML data against document type definition. There, they do not validate the data against the DTD, but here with validation, while we validating the XML data on reading, we must validate the XML data against DTD. Next, searching XML node. We can search the XML node with the help of select nodes and select single node method. It will search and return an XML node or list of XML node by comparing it with the items, that is key which we want to search. Okay. The query is expressed in a language called XPath. In searching XML nodes, the search elements are search element will form a query and send it to the server. It will search the nodes with the help of XML node or XML node list object if it is matched the query. That query is expressed in a language called XPath. Next, reading stream-based XML data. The previous slide, up to the previous slide, we will discuss about the reading tree-based XML data. Here we are going to discuss about the reading stream-based XML data. There is an obvious disadvantage to work with XML data using the tree-based DOM object. For that only we are come to the reading stream-based XML data. Here the entire XML file is read into the DOM memory at once. Only once it will read the entire XML data and store it into the memory. It will take a lot of memory. Also, the passing time also exceeded, which also occurs only once. When dealing with large XML files, there are many records are there. Yeah, already we discussed about that tree-based XML data perform operations on small amount of data only. While we going to large amount of XML data, we must read the XML data with the help of stream-based. Okay, it may because the larger XML files contain many records, and a more efficient method for reading the huge amount of records with the help of stream-based mechanism. The XML text reader class is the mechanism used for reading XML data in a stream-based fashion. For reading XML data in a stream-based fashion with the help of the XML text reader class. Got it? Okay. Next, writing stream-based XML data. Read an XML file using a forward-only method. Write XML data in a similar manner using the XML text writer class. For reading XML data is XML text reader class. For writing XML data using the XML text writer class. This function begins with creating a new XML writer object by supplying a new file to contain the output. When the XML data is routed around the networks or that is contained in a certain area, storage area, it is normally stripped of any insignificant white space. That is, ignore the white space, unwanted white space which is reside in the memory. This is of course to save storage space, but it has the unfortunate side effect of making the XML text less readable. The default behavior of XML text writer class does not include any white space at all. It can change by setting the formatting property. Next, the XML nodes to be prefixed with indentation to reflect their relative positions in the hierarchy. There is no need for white space. Rather than using white space, we must use the indentation. Indentation is also a white space, but the indentation gives a structure, specified structure. So rather than using white space is formed with the help of using space bar. Rather than using white space, we can prefix the XML node with the help of the indentation to specify the relative position in the hierarchy. Hierarchy means that order. Got it? Next, formatting XML data for display. How to give formats, apply formats to the XML data while displaying. XML is great for representing structured data, but by itself it can't be displayed to the user in any meaningful way. That is, there is no structure, there is no format at all. XML is human readable. It is used to transform XML data into convenient format for display. This is accomplished with the help of, if we need to display in certain way or certain structure, we can use the extensible style sheet transformation and the extensible style sheet transformation class. Okay. Next topic. From here itself, I conclude the manipulation of XML data. Here the new topic, it's also an important topic, important 8 mark or 5 mark. Okay, so study this question. Sending internet email. It is nothing but sending email just through Gmail, Yahoo, Hotmail, MSN, etc. Okay. Here, this while sending email, we must use the namespace system.web.mail. It will support the internet email messages. You have already have the knowledge how the internet email messages are sent. Which protocol used here? Simple mail transfer protocol. What are the things going on sending email? You can send email messages in plain text or HTML format, or we can include any file attachments. This SMTP, that is the protocol, simple mail transfer protocol functionality must be included in the system.web.mail namespace, which requires an available SMTP server. This will grant appropriate permission to the sender of the email for the message to be properly routed to its destination, that is the receiver end. The server can include any host on the LAN or on the internet. Also, we can use the SMTP server which is included with IIS 5.0, that is Internet Information Server 5.0 version. Next, the namespace system.web.mail has 3 classes which provides all the SMTP functionalities. What are the 3 classes are there in system.web.mail namespace? SMTP mail, mail message, and the mail attachment class. Here we are going to discuss about the property of the SMTP mail class. First property is SMTP server. It is the host name of the SMTP server to use. Methods of the SMTP mail class. There is only one method, send a mail message with the mail message object or text message with the content specified in the parameters. Next, the properties of mail message class. First property is attachment. Next, BCC, blank carbon copy, body of the email message, encoding type of the email body, content type of the email body, carbon copy, sender address. Other properties of mail message classes are headers, priority, subject, to, URL content base, URL content location. Next, properties of the mail attachment class. First property is encoding file name. Encoding means specify the encoding type. It may be either base 64 encoder or UU encoder. Next, the file attached, that is file name, the path name of the file attachment. Okay, here the third unit completed. So you complete first unit, second unit, third unit. Okay, study well. After 2 or 3 sessions only, I will continue the fourth unit. Before that, I will give some assignments for study. You will study, write the answer and upload into the classroom. Got it, students? Okay, thank you.